So, our next speaker, and it's good we have flexibility, and we also online, so the speaker is nearby, is Market Development Manager for Accenture, and he's going to talk about Accenture Industry X.0. So no more 2, 3, 4, 5, no more 5G, 6G, 10G. We're going to go straight to X.0, investing in the new smart connected factory. So Radu, the stage is yours.
Yes, thank you, George.
Great sound, by the way.
This is the purpose of being live, right?
One of the perks.
Yeah. So hello everyone, my name is Radu Costan, and I'm part of Industry X in Accenture. Now, you may be wondering, what is Industry X? This is why I also asked GERD previously, why X.0? And for us, the answer is pretty straightforward. This is because we see Industry X as being much more bigger, much more transformational, and it has much more of an impact than Industry 4.0. So when we say Industry 4.0, a lot of people think only about what's happening in manufacturing or in industry. But we see it as being much more bigger. So let's go straight to the subject. What is Industry X? For us, Industry X is an approach to help our clients to transform their operations and their business model, to reinvent their products from engineering and design towards manufacturing and support. And all this in order to achieve new levels of growth and to be more competitive. Very easily spoken, we say a lot of times industry of things. So in Industry X, we want to do action to things in order to generate value. So it is about producing things faster, designing things better, source things sustainably, move things on demand. So in order to do all these actions to generate value, we need to start investing in the future factory, so in the smart connected factory. We think that now is the right moment to do that, so we have conducted a survey to validate this. So our survey told us that, and this was while talking with almost 1,000 executives from companies across the globe, in the 21 biggest industrial countries. The survey told us that all these executives, 99% of them said that it is a mandatory thing to use digital technologies in order to improve the current operations. 92% of them said that they need to use the digital technologies to reinvent their products. And 64% of them said that the failure to leverage these digital technologies will cause them struggle for survival in the future. So the key takeaway is that all the companies understand the power of digital, they see the benefits, but behind this they also see the risk. And the risk is that usually they lack the in-house experience and expertise to conduct such big transformational projects. So the bottom line was that they need a partner that could take over this aspect. We are having approximately 20 years of expertise and experience in the industry, and seeing this survey, we in Romania, and we said we want to dig a bit further and understand what should be the why for the companies to do this change and what change should be done. So we created the point of view, and in the point of view we started with the why. I think this is pretty obvious for everyone. The main values which are at stake, it's the increased revenue, the decrease of cost, and the decrease of risk. These are pretty general things. You can see on the slides also other aspects which derive from these three main categories. But the most important aspect on this slide are the numbers on the below section. So after talking with our clients following implementation projects, we've understood, we found out that there can be an almost or an up to 10% improvement in production volumes, a 5% increase, up to 5% increase in quality product, and 15% increase in asset reliability, so availability of the assets used in the production process. And overall, it's following a successful project, the company can achieve up to 20% reduction in the operational cost. So these numbers are averages, but they are calculated based on real values from our clients. So these are real numbers behind this slide. The next section of the point of view refers to the what. So what should we do? What is digital transformation? And here I'd like to start with a high-level overview. So this is a hypothetical complete transformation. And this is a high-level overview of all the phases from a product life cycle. When you think of a product, you can think of anything that is being manufactured in a factory. From a car, a washing machine, any kind of good. And here you can see starting with the ideation or the concept and going through all the phases till the retirement of the product. In order to be easier to follow what needs to be done and where, we have created some categories. So the first one, it's about the product itself. The second one, it is about engineering of the product. Then it is about the product operation, the production and operations. And finally, it is about what happens after the product is launched on the market. Across all these categories, we need always to have in mind a security layer and an operational resilience. So recovery out of very difficult situations. Now we have the structure, and I would like to go to say a few words about each of these categories, what should be done in the future, what can be done better. And I will start with the product, where we should think of how to design smarter products or transform the current products as we have them into smarter, connected, with connection capability products. Then, once we get these requirements and we identify what kind of new smart product we want to produce, it goes to the engineering phase. And here, lots of calculations, drawings, changes, approvals happen. And usually, this needs to be very well tracked and managed. So, in this category, what we are looking for, it's implementing a software product lifecycle management, which touches actually all the phases from the slide. So once we have this software installed, we are generating usually a bill of material ready for manufacturing or a bill of material for the service department for after sales. Classically, this kind of information are being handed over to the production department, either by a paper or by an Excel or by a Word file. We don't have a track record, we don't know what's happening. So how it would be if everything would be integrated and all the information flows bidirectionally from the engineering department towards the manufacturing. In the end of the life cycle, we have after sales. So this refers to the period when the product is out there on the market and it is being used by the end user. And how it happens nowadays is that the factory communicates always with the service organization, and an analysis is performed only at a longer period of time since the product is launched. So the feedback is pretty long, whether the product is successful, what kind of defects it has, whether it needs recalling in the factory. So I mentioned at the beginning that we should also focus on smart products. Now, how it would be if these products that are already at the client are smart, they have capabilities to collect by themselves information about their behavior, about their performance, and together with the information from the service department are being analyzed in an AI or an analytics algorithm, and the feedback is provided to a digital twin. So we have an identical copy of our car, let's say, but digitally, and we know exactly what's happening with the car. And on top of that, the car would communicate with the factory. So always the software department would know what's happening in engineering, manufacturing, and service. So in real time, we can get information about a problem that we may have within our car. So a concrete example, I think, would be that with a new batch of cars, let's take car for example, there is an increased fuel consumption. And this is being noticed very quickly by this digital twin. It's communicated to the engineering department, the problem is investigated, and it may be a faulty batch of materials in the production, or it may be a software problem. If it's a software problem, that could be solved pretty quickly. So we can solve it in the software department and do a firmware over the air without a physical recall to the service, and that issue could be addressed directly. So this is what we call a digital thread, where everything is interconnected. Engineering, manufacturing, and after sales. Up to this point, I discussed hypothetically about what could be happening, and I presented the why. Now I think it's time to discuss about concrete actions, and before I go into details, I'd like to state the fact that these examples that I'm presenting here, these are real cases, and these are developed by our expertise center here in Romania. We are present in Cluj, in Timișoara, and Târgu Mureș, and we have experts in different areas. The first example is about Arctic. I think all of you heard about Arctic, the appliance manufacturer. So Arctic invested in having new, smarter products, as I previously mentioned, and beside that, they wanted also to invest in having intelligent factories, smarter factories. So we started a collaboration together with Arctic in order to help them on the manufacturing execution side. As my previous speaker mentioned, it was that pyramid with a vertical integration. So we helped exactly on that, how to connect the plant shop floor with the business logic. And the results were pretty astonishing. So we managed to automate 80% of the supply chain processes. And we've done that, so our approach was that we created a blueprint for the system. We conducted a pilot, we tested it. Then we went to a full development, and then a complete implementation. So coming back to the results, 80% of the processes from supply chain automated. Then we had over 250 machines on the shop floor. So these are production machines, which were being integrated with a new system. That means already that the shop floor is talking with the business logic on top. We had 14 IT systems integrated with this new manufacturing execution. So the ERP was already talking to the shop floor, to the planning solution, to the maintenance solution. And as a final outcome, the new factory was managed to reduce its operational cost with 11%. Considering all this, this new plant of Arctic was nominated as a Lighthouse Factory by the World Economic Forum in 2019. And they also won this title. So this is a title awarded to a few factories around the globe, which are demonstrating a highly innovative approach in their manufacturing processes. So this was a great achievement for Arctic, and we are very proud that we were partners in these initiatives. Going back to another example, this is regarding our collaboration with ABB, large industrial equipment manufacturers. And the question on the slide, what if your machinery could speak? What if your machinery could tell you when it has a problem, when it would have a breakdown? It would be great, right? This is exactly what we tried to do, and we succeeded together with ABB. We worked with the same team in Romania on developing a smart sensor. This is a wireless sensor which connects on the electrical motors and can be also used as a retrofit, so you can take it and put it on any motor. And we developed this solution which gathers data from the asset. I say asset because it's not only about the motor. It can be a bearing, it can be a pump, it can be a complete powertrain. And this data is being sent wirelessly to the cloud, is being analyzed, and we get an answer back when the respective asset could have a problem. So think yourself that you're a maintenance manager in a large plant with hundreds or thousands of assets. This would make your life much easier, and also would reduce the maintenance cost, because maintenance will be done only when it is really needed. In the end, just a few takeaways from my side. We've conducted this point of view, this analysis and the survey. We've seen that the industry is ready, and this change needs to be done now. We have discussed about the why, so we have concrete examples, and we demonstrated it's possible, and there are tangible results. We have discussed about what. So up to this point, it's pretty clear that this kind of investment needs to continue in the industry. But the question is how. What we learned in the past years from our experience and from our clients is that it's very difficult to do it by yourself. It's not just about buying technology or licenses and implementing it. It's about having the right partner who can advise from the beginning till the end. So that means strategy definition, testing, piloting, change management, organizational change management, because these kind of changes in the manufacturing space have a big impact on the users and on the workers. So this needs to be properly prepared. So my end message is start, or if you already started, continue investing towards achieving this new smart connected factory, because for sure this is the future and it will not work otherwise. Thank you.
Now that was short and sweet. Just like he knew there was lunch coming. So if any of you has questions now you'd like to address, or you can have them over lunch with Radu. Anyone? Questions? No? Are you hungry?
Let's grab a coffee, right?
Yeah. So look at him. Take a photographic memory photo, let's say. Let's take a photo of his face and remember him while you're going to be out. We'll be having a lunch break now, and then we'll come back to try again and talk to Volker Schütz. Okay? Thank you for your time and your attention. You've been a very good crowd.
Thank you.
Very civilized. Now it's time for lunch, and enjoy the beautiful Bucharest autumn weather. Vreme superbă avem afară, este fantastic. A venit toamna, acoperă minima cu ceva. Hai să ne acoperim cu informație și noutăți din tehnologie și industrie 4.0, Factory 4.0, și o să revin la limba noastră, a doua limbă nativă, limba engleză, limba de serviciu. I'm going to switch to English now so everyone can understand. I'm going to call back on stage Radu Costan for a short Q&A. He's going to take a few questions from the audience. If you have any questions, just raise your hand and we can bring a microphone over to you. And here we go. Îl țin eu.
Super. De fapt, eu aș avea două întrebări, dacă îmi permiteți. Cât de importantă este securitatea, și aici mă refer la cyber security, și cât de importantă este strategia de digitalizare?
Does it work? Yeah. So I have two questions. First one, how important is the cyber security in this whole spectrum? And the second one, how important is the strategy definition at the start of the road? So I will start with the second question. I think strategy definition in the beginning of such a project is crucial. So we cannot start on a journey without knowing where we want to go. I've seen examples, not one, many of them, including in Romania, where companies started to invest in digital technologies, and they ended up after 6 to 12 months having spent lots of money and without any concrete examples. And this is because they just started to do things without thinking what is the direction and towards where we want to go. Did I cover the question? Okay. And the second one, cybersecurity. I have mentioned briefly in the slide with the what. That is very important, and this is a major topic. So all of us heard about ransomware, and this can be applied not only to physical persons, to your personal account, this can be applied on a factory level once everything is out there open in the cloud. So this is again a critical component of such an architecture, and more details, you'll hear more details about this when my colleague Mihai will join you with a cybersecurity presentation on the stage. I think it's in 1.5 hours. So both of these aspects that you asked about are critical in such projects, and the second one will be addressed by Mihai later.
Thank you. Any more questions? We good? Okay. Thank you, Radu.
Thank you.
Thank you.